Topping the news now, extreme flooding in southeast Texas. We've seen high water rescues after more rounds of rain piled onto already swollen rivers, lakes, and streams. It is a busy early Friday evening. Hello there, I'm Mia Gradney.
And I'm Ron Trevino. Dangerous flooding is moving downstream along the West Fork and the East Fork of the San Jacinto River.
In a tweet posted just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, County Judge Lena Hidalgo said some folks are being assisted off their rooftops. Harris County has mandatory evacuations in Idle Glen, River Terrace, East River Estates, Northwood Country Estates, Cypress Point, and Commons of Lake Houston.
Areas at risk in Harris County include Forest Cove, North Shore, Bellawood, Rivercrest, Atascocita Shores, and Rio Villa. And
in Montgomery County, voluntary evacuation orders are in effect for River Plantation, Mosswood, and Woodlock.
We have live team coverage beginning in Montgomery County with Jalissa Garza live in the River Plantation neighborhood. Hey, Jalissa.
Hey there, Ron. Today we ran into the Caney Creek Fire and Rescue. They tell me they haven't even slept. They've been working around the clock nonstop trying to get to everyone who may need some help today. Now, take a look at your screen. We want to give you a better look. This was the scene earlier this morning over on River Plantation Drive in the neighborhood. Multiple agencies working together to rescue people and get them to safety. And while that was going on, other people who live further down the road that decided to evacuate last night came to see how things were looking today. One family we spoke with learned that their house had 5 feet of water inside.
And we don't know what it's going to be like when we get back in there. So.
And if the house is gone, where do we go?
The Reeves family there, they tell me they've lived in their home for about 3 years now, and they're just thankful that their family is okay. But as you can imagine, it has been a difficult day for families like theirs impacted by the high water in different roads in this community. And while it's been a hard day, most of the people that we've talked to today are staying positive. And just moments ago, a community member told us that there will be a recovery center opening on Monday for those in this community that have been impacted. Of course, we'll be sure to share those details online. For now, reporting live in Montgomery County, Jalissa Garza, KHOU 11 News.
Such challenging times for everyone out there. Jalissa Garza this evening, thank you.
High water is also flooding neighborhoods in the town of Woodlock, south of Conroe. Our Victor Jacobo is there with the latest. Victor.
Yeah, Ron, here in the Woodlock area in Montgomery County. I want to give you a sense of where I am. You look further down that way. That is where the West Fork of the San Jacinto River is. I'll step out of frame so you can get a better look of what this road looks like. Many homes in that direction. And you can see the roads are just not passable by car. We saw boat rescues here a short while ago. But folks on other streets in this area earlier were making their way through the front yards to try to get to their homes. One man had left with his family, but went back to get a car seat for his child. We saw him make his way to his home and back. Even today, when there were brief periods of sunshine and breaks from the rain, residents say the water kept on rising.
It's pretty swampy, and the water is still rising too. Okay. It's still rising. I came back through here about an hour ago, and it was like about 4 or 5 feet from my house. Now it's right up at the doorway.
It's still surreal to know that it's come up this high again. It's just crazy. You know, you're able to drive down the street and see the river kind of from afar, and now it's just overtaken everything. So it's crazy.
Again, we did see those water rescues happening down here in this street, but many of the people who did go with that voluntary evacuation, they left last night, and I spoke with some of them. Some stayed in their cars overnight, some stayed with family close by. Many are bracing for more flooding to come and having to continue those plans as that flood threat continues through the weekend. Now reporting live in Woodlock in Montgomery County, Victor Jacobo, KHOU 11 News.
Yeah, Victor, your heart has to go out to everybody who's suffering through all of this. Thank you so much.
Now to the East Fork of the San Jacinto River. It is expected to rise another 4 feet before cresting later this evening. This means we may see even more rescues. Jason Miles is live just east of New Caney to show us the situation there. Jason.
Yeah, this is as far as we can get on the east side of the East Fork of the San Jacinto River. And just within the last hour or so, we saw at least 4 more people brought out on rescue boats along with their pets. The commander of that unit told me he believes all of the people along flooded Casey Road have now been evacuated. Take a look at some video we shot earlier, though, as well. And I should mention, we also went through a brief hailstorm as a pretty intense storm rolled through this area, certainly not helping the flooding situation. That hail was closer to New Caney. All of the rain, again, not helping. In addition to the water that's being released from dams. Meanwhile, there have been dozens of water rescues here throughout the day, starting when we first arrived this morning. Some crews having to call boats in because the current from the river and adjacent areas just too strong for those high trucks, even the really high water elevated trucks. Neighbors who decided to get out amid the mandatory evacuation had a message for those who decided to stay behind.
Told them, don't be stubborn, and I've been through this before. You can get up, you can replace items, but you cannot replace your life.
Put their lives in danger, and they put everybody else in danger that's going to rescue them. So it's hard.
A woman stopped by here a short time ago to ask me if any other flooding would be taking place on the other side of the Grand Parkway, Highway 99. I told her I think so. As you mentioned, 4 more feet or so expected along the East Fork of the San Jac between now and midnight before it crests and hopefully starts to fall. We saw an abandoned vehicle on the feeder road of 99 and throughout the neighborhoods down here, along with, of course, unfortunately, many flooded homes and even businesses. Klein Fire Department over in an area that is not affected by this current situation over here helping local agencies. Those were among those emergency crews helping folks out, again, just within the last hour or so. Reporting live near Huffman, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Thanks, Jason, for that report. There are a number of shelters in place throughout the area. You'll find a full list at khou.com.
And we're not done with the rain. Cheetah Craft leading off our weather team coverage. Hey, Cheetah.
Hey, well, if you haven't seen some of our rainfall totals, you're looking at all of these reports from the San Jacinto River, and it's because of these totals. Over the past 5 days, the National Weather Service gave us these preliminary reports. 23.5 inches near Trinity. Willis, over 20 inches of rain. Over 5 days. Lake Conroe took over 14 inches of rain. Now, in Houston, you see that 3.5 inches. So that is where, inside the city limits, we're handling the rain really well, but you head just to the northeast portion of Harris County, it is a very different story. Now, right now, live look at the radar, we're actually under mostly cloudy skies. We only have spotty activity. Here's that isolated shower towards Dryersdale, and that's going to continue to push off to the east. So not bad, okay? Very spotty activity through the remainder of the evening. And even for your Saturday, it's only isolated to spotty activity as well. But these active flood warnings that are in effect for the East Fork of the San Jacinto and also for the West Fork of the San Jacinto River will probably stay in effect. Now look at this, through potentially midweek of next week. This timeline has kind of continued to shift. So it started off where it was going to be Sunday, and now it's leaning into early next week. And Chris, I'm going to bring in meteorologist Chris Ramirez. A big reason of that is because they're just staying above that major flood stage. It's going to take a while for conditions to continue to dry out.
Yes, that is the case. The good news, though, is that we are getting a break from this rain in the overnight hours. We're already starting to see the sun trying to peek through those clouds. Even just now, it's going to be somewhat of a similar evening like we saw yesterday. So as we head into this evening, mostly a bit more quiet than what we saw this morning. High temperatures getting to the upper 70s, overnight lows in the mid 70s. As we look at our future track, however, we're not out of the woods yet in terms of our rain chance. The good news is that Saturday, mostly isolated in nature, but then we're going to see another big disturbance move through on Sunday morning between the hours of 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. That's going to bring more showers and storms. So that's really not going to help those rivers and those streams that are already inundated with those flood waters. We're going to see probably those river forecasts, flooding forecasts change. We're expecting another round of showers and storms into the afternoon hours of Sunday. That very well could bring more high amounts of rainfall as we head into the evening, but definitely expecting the next 3 days to be a little bit questionable, especially Saturday, Sunday, more chance for those showers and storms, and finally getting a break heading into Monday. Back to you.